Ugh, why did I not do this earlier? I'm Laura Pruden. I'm Laura Pruden. I'm Laura Pruden. I'm Laura Pruden.
Negotiate.
How do they decide to let you use your name?
Are you taping?
Yeah, it's on, but I don't know if we're
No,
gonna.
it's okay. It was actually kind of funny. You had to prove you were an actual customer.
Mm-hmm.
That was a requirement. So they advertised, like, the thing is that they did use real customers. They advertised in the local trade papers and online and so on. So I got it through Breakdown Services, which releases auditions. And they said you had to be a Vonage customer. And I wrote back that I wasn't a customer, but that my husband was, and that, we lived together. We're married and we live together. And they said, okay, that's good enough. I use it. My name's not on the bill. And I had to bring in a bill. I had to bring in a current bill, all this kind of stuff. So when I got there, it was funny though, because the client kept coming in and saying, "This is so great, thank you so much." And when they'd leave, everyone would look around and go, "Are you an actor? Yeah, are you an actor?" Most of us were actors and customers, but also, actors have phones, which is what I was saying. People were like, "Oh my God, she's an actor," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, we have phone service." And it wasn't. They did the whole shoot was interview style, and then about 3/4 of the way through, I would say, they said, "And this is your line." And they hand me this piece of paper, and it says, "My name is blank, and this was my last bill before I switched to Vonage." And I said, "Really?" And I was a little surprised, and I didn't have my last bill because we'd been customers for so long, and so I said, "But I don't have my last bill." And it's kind of funny, I don't know if they would have had any compunction with it, but somehow suddenly when I was supposed to say my name and say that, I was like,
Illegal.
Yeah, well, it also just felt, I was like, well, this whole thing is feeling weird. It's a little odd to say my real name and then say my real name and act, and so, I mean, if I'm married and this is my last bill, it would have been different being like, I'm Laura Pruden and this is totally not my last bill. This is a piece of paper. So I actually didn't really do the whole thing, and they ended up cutting away from it anyway. But they used my name. I think we all said our names. I think they had everybody do it. We just happened to choose my take.
Just you, yeah.
Yeah. And then there was another spot with a different lady who said her name, but she has a much less unusual name than I do. There was another spot that ran for a little while, but her name was like Sandy Jones or something. That it'd be, if you search Sandy Jones, there are 100. But my last name is sort of unusual, so it's. I think people have. I actually had a person on the subway remember me, and I was like, "Wow, I think you maybe watch too much TV."
See, you should do what I do. I don't watch it. I just listen to it. So
I didn't say anything. It was very sweet. I was like, "Oh, that's nice."
And my brother, the autograph hound, will.
No, it was nice. It was nice.
Regular person.
Yeah, he was just a guy. He was a actor. He was a young guy.
Oh, I see.
I was once recognized after doing Three Sisters and Chekhov, and that I was pretty psyched about that.
That's good. Where was that production?
It was at Columbia. It was tiny. I don't know. I mean, it was also just sort of bizarre that someone actually. That one of the 300 people who saw it, I ran into on the subway. It wasn't like a big.
And he was brave enough to talk to you,
right? Or whatever. I wouldn't even remember it at all.
All right. So what we're talking about here is we're talking about the line that made Laura Pruden famous.
Oh wow.
And the whole reason why I chased her down, because I didn't believe there was a real Laura Pruden, because this wasn't like an Alcoholics Anonymous thing or diabetes.
Well, then I wouldn't be able to say my name.
And you just go out there and say Bill drinks.
Exactly. I'm a friend of Bill's.
So anyway, I had to because I never heard of anybody using their name in a commercial before, their real name, unless they were, of course, a big celebrity.
Right, endorsing it.
Getting
as
bucks for it, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I Googled her, and it's indeed a real person. She's a New York actress, and she just came from a callback, which is always a good story.
Yeah, that's nice.
And the other news is that she is going to appear at the
The Barrow Group Theater.
Barrow Group Theater.
Yeah.
November 18th and 19th?
I think it's the 17th and 18th.
17th and 18th? Okay.
No, I'm second guessing. It's the 17th and 18th. It's that Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
I'm doing 2 performances. I'm doing a Saturday matinee, 3:30, and a Sunday at 6:30.
And this is a one-woman show?
It is. It is. It's a solo storytelling piece called Out of My Mind.
Right.
Which is actually not about insanity, but it is about astral projection.
Oh, then
So there you go.
Then I definitely want to see it. Absolutely.
It's actually about a missed opportunity for astral projection. So it's even more interesting. It's about my in-body experience, right?
Wow.
So it can be a trip. And I'm very excited to do it. It's gonna be fun. It's a fun, it's a fun piece, and the Estrogenius Festival, which is what it's part of, is in its 13th year, and I was very, very delighted to be selected.
So let's roll the tape back a little bit. You're a Northwestern graduate.
Yes.
And a CIA graduate, California Institute, not the other
California
guys.
Institute for the Arts, yes.
Yeah. So she did all her homework and she passed all her tests.
I did.
And she's been here. You've been in New York 7 years.
Been in New York 7 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
I like it very much.
well, obviously they like you too. So.
Oh well, thank you. That's the idea. Hopefully, yes.
Anyway, so when did you start acting?
You know, maybe it sounds cliche, but I've always done it. I always chose it, I think. I did it as a kid. Apparently, when I was in preschool, the teacher heard me singing and told my mom I might enjoy creative drama. And she took it to heart and signed me up, and I took little creative dramatics classes as a kid, and then I just continued to have it be sort of my extracurricular activity all the way through high school. And then I became a theater major at Northwestern, and then I got out and worked a little while in Chicago. I did theater there mostly, and taught some improv classes, and then I moved. Then I went and got my master's, my MFA, because I wanted more training. I just always did it. I mean, it's sort of like, I think it's one of the, you declare that you're an actor, and I mean, you study, and hopefully somebody to back it up. But I've just always done it.
So what was your first? I don't mean big production, but the first production that was actually professional, and were you out of school by that time? Or?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I was actually sort of, I don't know, for better or worse, I was a little bit shy about, I didn't want to go to Los Angeles right out of college. I was encouraged to because I looked really, really young and small, and I looked really youthful. But I sort of hated the idea of being a grown-up, playing a kid, and being pigeonholed that way. And I was very much like, it's my art. But I would say the first big gig I did a few professional gigs in Chicago. The first big one was I actually did Into the Woods at Touchstone Organic. So that was...
So the idea, the truth is you can sing.
Yeah.
We had a little discussion about whether she sang or not. She says, well, I sing, but I'm not a singer. And
well, the beautiful thing about Into the Woods, the beautiful thing about that show, not all Sondheim, is there's not a lot of dancing. So yeah, I could do that. And they're characters. I was playing Little Red Riding Hood. You know, it's not. It's there's a good story there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so when what do you want to do? In a perfect world, what do you want to see happen next?
It's a really good question. I mean, truthfully, I got a couple days work on The Daily Show.
I saw it. I know.
And it was so fun. It was so fun.
Not bad.
And you know, what came out on the screen is really pretty brief. A bit good, I think. The writing's extraordinarily good, and it's funny, and I was pleased with what they chose and all that kind of stuff. But we had a lot of fun. We did a lot of stuff that didn't make the final cut, you know, and that was just really great. I loved being on. It's one of the only times I've really, really enjoyed being on set as opposed to in front of a live audience. I think part of the reason is it was a small team, and we were coming up with ideas and playing around, and it was just really streamlined and really great. And I really felt like, I could do this. Maybe not every day, but I could do that 3 days a week, for sure. Really enjoyed that. And honestly, I really like writing, and I really like performing solo material. I find it very interesting.
Did you get to meet Jon Stewart?
I didn't meet Jon Stewart. We shot on location in the Hamptons in a rainstorm. But,
on location in the Hamptons?
In a rainstorm.
Who do you know?
Ridiculous,
Wow,
right?
that's great.
No, it was like I don't know. Anyway, it was they needed something that looked like a kitchen. They needed a kitchen that looked like it wasn't in the city. So we went up with that. But I enjoy that. I really like to work across multiple platforms. So and honestly, I love theater. I had a funny, like a sort of a rinky-dink, if you will, on some level, gig that was wonderful recently, which is I was the reader for the new production of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf on Broadway. And,
I hear
Edward Albee can really write. Oh, the production's fantastic.
They say, people tell me it's the best one they've ever seen.
Oh, it's brilliant. I was very pleased. I got to go to an invited dress, and it was fantastic. And there is that of sort of like, I sit there and I do my own thing and I enjoy it, and then I sit down and I read Edward Albee and I'm like, oh well, yeah, come on, now this is really good. That would be a treat. I mean, I would love to do, like I've done something since coming to New York. I've done Beckett and I've done Inge and I've done Chekhov, and when the stars align and it's good, it's just great. I love that.
Perfect. So, this is the famous Laura Pruden.
Oh, well.
And,
you're going to make me make my bird's throat sound.
No. Oh, yeah, and she does this really... I can't imagine there's anybody in the Western world who has not seen this commercial. But when she goes, ugh, it was really... it's the kind of ugh that you don't expect people to make in a commercial,
Well, it wasn't planned, and I don't know that it's in my own sort of I don't know that it's the take I would have chosen. I probably would have been too self-conscious or something. But I think it's how people, it's a real person.
Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. Yeah.
I think they were smart in a way.
I mean, I certainly recognize the look on your face because I've had a lot of women go ugh, and have that look on their face. So we all know about that.
Yeah. So have I. My mother does it.
She was supposed to be a doctor.
Ugh. Terrible. I'm doing it on cue. Gross.
Yeah.
Stop.
All right. So we'll probably check in with this lady when she's in the play 2 weeks from now. 3 weeks
Yeah.
from 3 weeks from
it's
now.
coming. It's fast approaching. It's only it's 16 days.
16 days. Oh my God.
Yeah. It's coming up. So I gotta get
Busy hands are happy hands.
Indeed. No, I'm actually really I'm excited to do it. It's gonna be fun.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, it was a pleasure meeting you, and I'm sure we're going to be doing this again.
I hope so.
And thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Mike.